Fellow brothers and sisters, everywhere in the world, whether in Africa or Europe, I greet you. This is the Kingdom Talk with Dr. Convy. Look, I'm making my contribution, the smallest contribution in many things that you know in your life. Please listen to it and then see if it can work in your life. It is working for me. And today I want to talk about rulership as part of a king's identity, you know. And I want to insist with love that you and me are kings. Why? Because we are born from a king himself. You can't be born from a king and become just a something else, you know. When you are born of a king, you are running around with the kingdom blood. When you are born of the king, you are moving around with the kingdom ability. When you are born of the king, you're moving around with the kingdom skills, kingdom knowledge, kingdom capability. You know, I wish you can touch yourself and say the king is back, you know. You must find yourself. And there's no other king over your life except the fact that you are from him yourself and you are a king. So don't look next to you and look for kings. Recognize that you are a king coming from the king himself yourself and begin to behave like a king. So today I'm going to talk about rulership. Let me simplify it. I mean, from my, basic education background, I mean, a ruler is a ruler. It's a straight line. It's an instrument that encourages you to create, besides calculating and sizing, it enables you to create a straight line. So let me move from that fact that a ruler brings some kind of alignment, in our lives. To say when you are a king, you must rule. And ruling does not mean undermining people or taking people for granted or stepping on people and walking on people's heads and all this kind of thing, or treating people as if people are just non-entities or objects on all such kind of things. When you rule, it means you align things to the plumb line, to the original purpose of the king himself for your life. You make sure that everything you do is done in a manner that brings glory to the king that brought you to earth. You make sure that everything that you do is done in a manner that if someone else can want to connect to it, they can easily just connect and flow. You bring some kind of structure into life. You bring some kind of excitement which is orderly into life. You bring some kind of a thought pattern that is not creating culture, tradition, and religion that frustrates the purpose of a king with your life. You just make sure that things are brought together and there's some kind of coordinated movement going forward in every space that you find yourself. So today, whatever you're busy with, whether you are in business, whether you are at school, whether you are in a family, you are in a home, you are in charge of something, or you're driving or doing this and that, do it within a rulership point of view. Do it within a coordinated approach. Do it with order. Don't cause disruptions. Don't cause distractions. Don't cause disorder. Don't cause confusion. Understand, you come from the king who's not an author of confusion. You come from a king who is the author of life and life in abundance, who wants you to have as much as you can have of life as possible, who looks at you and sees himself in you, who looks at you and sees his image and his likeness. So you have the capability to make sure that whatever you're doing takes shape and is done to God's glory. If you are a dancer, dance to his glory. If you are a singer, sing to his glory. If you are a fashion person, do it to his glory. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't humiliate yourself. Don't be an object of humiliation. I mean, take care of yourself. Respect yourself. I mean, bring things into shape as a king. I told you some other time that when I say king, I'm not referring to gender. I'm referring to you as a person that whatever gender you are a king operate as a king. You must know that your life is influencing someone to believe that this is the way to go. So do it in a manner that brings life and life in abundance. If you're taking something through your mouth, let it be something that does not destroy the king in you. If you're smoking something, let it not be something that destroys the king in you. If you're talking, talk things that are not destroying the king who is in you. Let your talk bring life. Resist to be a death carrier. Bring life with your talk. If you are touching, touch with love. Make sure that whatever you're busy doing, you do it as a king. Let kingship erupt out of you in everything that you're doing. Challenge your motives to check. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I having the welfare and the well-being of the kingdom of God at heart in terms of what I'm doing, or is something that steps you into selfish levels of life? You get my point? So it's important for you to understand that you are a king, and kings are born to rule. And ruling means making sure that everything that is within your space is done in a manner that brings glory to the living God and is a blessing to yourself. You bring alignment, you bring structure to things, and you make sure that whoever connects with you can easily flow as you go forward. So I want to encourage you to be that kind of a person. It is working for me. It can work for you. Can you imagine if me and you can start to do things right and rule well and be a blessing? You'll find that within your family, every one of you are a blessing. Resign from anger, resign from shouting and fightings. If you've got guns and knives and all these kind of things, put them in a box somewhere and just begin to use your hands to love one another. Use your hands to hug one another. Use your mouth to appreciate one another. Resign from war. Just set aside a week within your family and say, this is a week of rulership. We are going to put things into space, into order, and begin to bless one another with the manner in which we're doing things. And challenge yourself to do that, and check at the end of the week, how is life within your space, within your hostel, within your yard, within your flat, within your mansion, within your area, wherever you stay. Go challenge yourself and see. I believe personally that you are capable of ruling. You are capable of being a king that takes care of the things that is within your space. You might be asking yourself, where do I get this kind of revelation? I get it because I'm following the king who rules and rules selflessly for the benefit of the people that are under him. And that king for me is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I'm not imposing him on you. I'm just sharing with you that I found him. And as a result, I'm able to sit and say, this is what works in my space. Please use it. If you are in government, use it. If you are in corporate world, use it. If you are in business, use it. Wherever you are, use this. Go and rule well. And you will see the beauty of being a king. And you won't regret having lived this kind of life. So this is the Kingdom Talk with Dr. Convy, and I bless you, and I know that we'll meet some other stage and share testimonies of the goodness of being a king who rules.